OK, Marc Riley in Salford Media City, whilst in Maida Vale, London, we have got the band playing for us tonight, which would be Mozart Estate. Lawrence.
Hiya.
Hello, mate. So, do you know, whenever one reads an interview with you, and you don't do that many, but when you read an interview with Lawrence, you often see the words cult figure within there, which is a dream of many musicians, you'd have to say, but it's not really what you set out to achieve, is it?
It's not fair, is it?
No, I would agree with that. Why would you say it's not fair?
Yeah, well, it should be pop star, I think. That's what I was hoping for.
Right, OK. Now...
Yeah, cult figure means you could be doing various other things in your life as well, if you were a cult figure.
It means...
I want to be a pop star, so that's all I do.
Yeah.
Pop.
I mean, my interpretation is that it means that, you know, you mean an awful lot to not as many people as perhaps you might.
Yeah, I guess that's a good description. Yeah.
Okay.
I think what we're trying to do is build it up to... So that we've got like millions of fans, and I don't have to go on a buzz anymore, and I get driven everywhere, and after a gig it's straight back to a big hotel. That's kind of what I'm after.
Yeah, OK. Well, I certainly hope you get there, mate. And so, I know that you did set out to write the perfect pop song. So what is your idea of the perfect pop song? Somebody else's, I mean.
Well, like 3 minutes or under. A double chorus at the end. Won't take long to get to the main chorus at the beginning, and solo in the middle.
OK, and so do you think anybody has achieved the perfect pop record yet?
Oh gosh, there's millions of them, Mark.
What's your favourite?
Gosh, it goes right back to Peggy Sue, you know, Buddy Holly, right through to there's so many. But I suppose in the punk days, they were my favourite pop songs, really, because I thought they had an edge as well. I think when the lyrics became a little more realistic, I really got involved.
Well, can you give me an example? I mean, what bands meant a lot to you in the punk movement?
Gosh, I mean, say like a pop song, for example, then would be Swallow My Pride, the Ramones.
Right.
That's real good. And I think what happened was I didn't realise it until I learnt to play guitar, but the songs that I was attracted to all had minor chords in them.
Right.
And yet they were still very, very poppy, but catchy with a move to a minor chord. They were the ones that always got me, which Swallow My Pride is a perfect example. But I like records by alternative TV, and I thought they should have been on EMI, and you know, had a chance at the charts. But I think, I guess, really, if you say to me, perfect pop song is Fit Goddard. And, I mean, why wasn't Split Up the Money number one?
Oh, mate, tell me about it. And, you know, there's so many of his tunes. Stop That Girl is just one of the greatest pop songs
Stop
ever.
That Girl, that's a top tenor. There's so many Vic Goddard. He made a record in early 80s called Songs for Sale, where he made a swing album, I guess, just to prove he could.
Yeah, well, I saw him on that tour as well. But it's funny you should mention the Ramones because, of course, one of the, supposedly, the influences on the Ramones were the Stooges and the Bay City Rollers, who were poles apart.
Yeah, they liked Saturday Night by the Rollers.
Yeah,
which is an incredible song.
It is. Have you seen that? Have you seen that footage of the Bay City Rollers doing that tune? But they're in front of an audience of I would say the average age is probably 65 to 70, and there's even a lady there knitting in the audience. It's just one of the greatest clips you will ever see in your life.
Well, I've never seen that.
Oh, mate. Oh, honestly, find it. It's just brilliant. So, what would you say is the closest you've ever come to writing this perfect pop song?
Oh gosh, I think Relative Poverty.
Mm.
And that's pretty damn perfect, I reckon. That sounds like a hit record. I think Vanilla Gorilla, for sure. That's a hit record. With Felt, I was trying really hard with things like Penelope Tree, which was, we got it down, we did it exactly 3 minutes long. I mean, that's how hard we were trying.
Right, okay. Yeah, well, that's some commitment. And, you know, I mean, you say relative poverty, and I did discuss it at the time, and some people thought that I or you were being flippant about it, but I knew that you weren't. But, of course, it's a very, very jolly tune, you know, really a perfect pop music, I would say. And but, of course, the lyrics are really kind of tug at the heartstrings, put it that way.
Yeah, I think with the glam stuff that I was into, I was just a tiny bit let down by the lyrics. I would think, I wish someone would come out with like a relevant lyric as well as the great tunes, you know. I mean, I love things like Hello, Star-Studded Sham, and I think, you know, things...
Back in the New York Groove and all that
New York Groove. But I thought there was room for a band who had a social conscience as well, and did some hard-hitting lyrics. And that's kind of what we tried to do with Mozart Estate, was to imagine a band, a sort of glam kind of band that had some hard-hitting words. So that's the idea, really, to kind of move the pop song on a bit, because it's easy to write a kind of Moon in June lyric. You know, they're so common. And yet it's really hard to find an outstanding lyric in a pop song.
Do you think the mass audience is ready for that, though? Because, like I say, I mean, it's such a sing-along tune, Relative Poverty, until you get to grips with the lyrics, which, you know, are heartbreaking.
Yeah, I think they are. I mean, I think hard-hitting lyrics have always been there. Like, let's say, Hurricane, Bob Dylan. Yeah, that was a number one. I should have been a number one single. I mean, it probably got in the charts in America. I'm not sure, but that was very hard hitting, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, absolutely. I mean, he had a fire in his belly over that one, didn't he? I'd read an interview in The Idler with Will Hodgkinson recently, and it mentions that your one moment of luxury in your house is a lush armchair which was made for you in Paris. Is this right?
Yeah, it's still in the plastic. My flat's not ready yet.
Oh, it's so special. It's so special that you need to get your apartment ready for it, is it?
Yeah, well, I thought I was going to be ready, and then you can't get workmen in London. They just won't come to your house.
Right. So
if I was in Birmingham, my flat would have been ready in about 4 weeks. It's taken like 6 years in London.
Right, okay.
Yeah,
well,
they sort of come round.
That's a call out to any people who are of that ilk in London. You need to get round to Lawrence's house and sort it out. And I tell you, just before we get into the actual tunes, at the end of the same interview, you say, books are my house bricks of my world, records are the slate roof, and clothes are the soft furnishing. That's pure poetry, that, mate.
Wow, that's amazing, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
God, I forgot that.
Well, I've just reminded you, and it's a beautiful thing and a beautiful sentiment. So,
yeah, because I think I'm like, I live a kind of solitary life, really, and the books and my records and clothes are, they mean a lot to me. Yeah, that was really well put, wasn't it?
Yeah, brilliant, absolutely brilliant, and a great way to sign off that particular interview. And so you did your book sale, didn't you, whereby you put a stamp, property of Lawrence, I think, also. It had some such stamp on it, and you sold these books that meant a lot to you that you've read previously. How did that do for you? Was that a success?
Wow, roaring success, Mark.
Yeah?
Yeah, we sold so many books. What it was I had a kind of too many for the flat that I'm in. So I sold the ones that weren't quite 100%, and also some were seconds. You know, some were the original book that I read, and then I found a mint copy. So we decided to have a big book sale, and we did it at a shop in Broadway Market, it's called, in East London. And yeah, there was queues outside.
It's amazing, but and ironic and almost sad at the same time, because they should be queuing up to buy your records. I'm sure all the people who bought the books bought your records as well. So, you know, a happy ending to that extent. But always great to speak to you, Lawrence. I mean, we go back an awful long way. I just mentioned the Lyceum then with the Fall and Felt on the same bill.
Oh, yeah.
We go back a hell of a long way, and it's always a real privilege to have you on the programme. So thank you, and thanks to all the band as well. You're going to do, let me see now, have I got this right here? Let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tunes for us now in a row. So can you tell us what you're going to do and in what order?
Yeah, we're going to start off with Poundland, and then we're going to do Wiggle With You, Record Store Day. Then we're going to go into Lawrence Takes Over, Four White Men in a Black Car, and ending on When You're Depressed. So it's like a mini set, really.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, okay, brilliant. Well, there we go.
Most of the songs, Mark, are from the new album Pop Up Ka-Ching and the Possibilities of Modern Shopping. And if anybody wants to buy the granny a Christmas present, it'll knock her socks off.
I agree wholeheartedly, mate. Okay, then. So Mozart Estate live in session. Thank you.